Good morning, everyone, and it is 9:30. My name is Mike Walsh. I am going to go ahead and call this meeting to order for the Advisory Commission on Charter Schools, February 15th. On January 5th, 2022, Governor Gavin Newsom issued Executive Order N-122 related to the COVID-19 pandemic. The executive order extends the sunset of Assembly Bill 361 to allow state bodies covered by the Bagley-Keene Open Meeting Act to hold public meetings covered under the Act by web and/or audio teleconferencing. As such, today's meeting for the February 2022 ACCS will be held as an audio-video teleconference, which will be live webcast and subsequently archived. Additional information is available on the agenda for today's meeting. During commissioner deliberation today, I will call on each commissioner by name. Please use the raise hand feature in Zoom if you wish to be recognized to speak. I will do my best to monitor the screen and also keep track. All votes today will be taken by a roll call vote, and members of the public who wish to make public comment may dial 717-908-1937 and use access code 4679071# when prompted to call in for a given item or for general public comment. Upon dialing in, callers will be added to a caller queue, and the operator will notify callers when it is their turn to provide public comment. Public comment will be limited to 1 minute. Members of the public who wish to dial in for public comment should view the live stream of the meeting. The number and access code will be provided before the start of public comment for each item. And prior to making public comment, speakers who are watching the meeting through the live webcast should make sure the volume on their computer is muted to avoid echoing or feedback sounds during the call. At this time, I am going to go ahead and lead us in the flag salute. So if everyone will please stand and join me in honoring our flag. So we should have a flag appearing any moment now. Yep, there it is. So please salute and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, everyone. So at this time, it is my honor and pleasure to administer the oath of office to our newest commissioner, Dr. Derek King. So Dr. King, if you'll go ahead and join me by simply raising your right hand, I will read the oath to you and you'll just repeat it and we'll do the best that we can. So here we go. I, Dr. Derek King, do solemnly swear.
I, Dr. Derek King, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
To the Constitution of the United States.
To the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully.
And that I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Thank you very much and welcome to the commission.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. At this time, we also are honored to have State Board of Education member Cynthia Glover Woods in the audience joining us today as the charter liaison for this meeting. Welcome, welcome, Cynthia Glover Woods. Love to offer you an opportunity to address the commission as well as the audience.
Thank you so very much, and good morning to all of you, commissioners, staff, and our public who are watching today. I am very honored and humbled to be able to participate and be a part of today's meeting as the liaison for the State Board of Education. I am encouraged in knowing that there will be robust, thoughtful conversation regarding all items that are discussed today. And I just thank all of you for your service and for your time on behalf of the students in California that are sitting and serving in our charter schools. So thank you so very much for the opportunity to speak. And again, I'm honored to be with you this morning.
Thank you so very much. The honor is also ours. At this time, I'm going to call on the commissioners to state their name and who they represent as part of the commission. I am going to ask that we start with Dr. King. And Derek, we'd just love to give you a couple moments to just share a little bit about us, about yourself rather, and just start by saying, again, restating your name and the group that you represent.
I'm Dr. Derek King. I represent charter schools. I currently serve as the superintendent for Excelsior Charter Schools. We're a countywide benefit charter operating in both San Bernardino and Riverside counties with 8 particular campuses. I started in education in 1998 with the Department of Defense dependent schools in Babenhausen, Germany. I'm a person who is a strong advocate for school choice. As we know, as educators, we understand differentiated instruction. I also believe in differentiated delivery models because our students within the California school system need an opportunity to have variation in how they receive instruction. And so again, I'm happy to be here. Our organization is a non-classroom based charter. I endeavor to always be thoughtful and compassionate in all of our deliberations.
Thank you again, Dr. King. Welcome. So at this point, Commissioner Andrea Feazell.
Good morning. Andrea Feazell representing charter school educators.
And Erica Jones.
Good morning, Erica Jones. I represent teachers.
Thank you. Good morning to Gail Garbalino Mojica.
Good morning, Gail Garbalino Mojica, Placer County Superintendent of Schools, and I represent county superintendents.
Commissioner Austin.
Good morning, Jared Austin, representing parents and guardians.
Commissioner Taylor.
Hi, everybody. Matt Taylor, represent charter schools.
And I am Mike Walsh. I am representing school districts and governing boards. And then Stephanie Farland.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephanie Farland, and I sit on the commission representing the State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tony Thurman.
And Commissioner Wes Sever, I do not see him, so I'm going to assume he will not be able to join us today. So at this time, I would like to entertain a motion for adoption of our meeting notes from the December 2021 ACCS meeting.
I move adoption.
So it's been moved by Commissioner Garbalino Mojica. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Jones. At this time, we will go ahead and take a roll call vote. And we'll begin with Commissioner Feazell.
Yes.
And Commissioner King.
Yes.
And Commissioner King, I think you may be advised to abstain as you were not part of that meeting.
Okay. Absolutely. Then I'll abstain.
And Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
And Commissioner Garbalino Mojica.
Yes.
Commissioner Austin.
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Commissioner Farland.
Yes.
And I am Commissioner Walsh, and I will also vote yes. And so thank you very much. Members of the public who wish to make general public comment for items that are not part of the ACCS agenda may dial in now. Again, this is an opportunity for those of you wishing to make a comment that is not part of the agenda item today. Please call 717-908-1937 and use access code 467-9071#. Again, just to reiterate, this is an opportunity for general public comment for those of you wishing to call at this time. Meantime, we'll go ahead and move forward with Charter Schools Division update. So Stephanie Farland, would you please take over?
Sure. Thank you, Chair Walsh. Good morning, everyone. I just want to give a quick update today on the work we're doing in the division. I would like to just spotlight or highlight our grant work today. So the Public Charter School Grant Program, as you know, is run through the Department of Education's Charter School Division. And this year, we just started last year our 3-year round of grant funding. As of today, we've have 3 sub-grants that are part of the Public Charter School Grant Program this year. We have a Charter Authorizer Support Initiative, which is new to the federal grant. I'm very excited about it. And we will be working collaboratively with the 2 sub-grantees, which is the Santa Clara County Office of Education and the California Charter Authorizing Professionals, to provide support and resources to authorizers statewide. We're very excited about that work. We also have our startup subgrant, and as of today, we have 20 subgrantees that have been awarded under this particular grant. We are anticipating that the 2021, that the spring cohort requests for applications will be released next week for a new round of funding. And that includes our funding for expansion and replication of existing charter schools, in which we have revised the high quality definition for this particular round of funding. So we're excited about that. And then we have a regional technical assistance and coaching subgrant. Now, we did have this one out, the RFA out a few months ago. Didn't get a lot of response to it. As a matter of fact, we had no response in the coaching subgrant. So, I'm sorry, in the regional technical assistance. So what we did is we combined the 2 instead of having 2 separate subgrants for regional technical assistance and coaching. We're combining the 2, which means a little more money, and the work is spread out a little bit more. So it should be really great for charters to collaborate and maybe submit collaboratively with each other or with charter organizations or even with county offices. There are a lot of different ways that charters can submit an RFA for this particular subgrant. And that will be posting next week too. So please go to our website, which is the Charter School Division webpage at CDE, on the CDE webpage, and keep checking for those postings, which as I said earlier, should come out sometime next week. We're very excited about all of the work that the subgrant provides, all of the funds that the subgrant provides to charters in the field for both startup, implementation, replication, and expansion. So yeah, and if anyone has any questions, you can please email me at sfarland@scde.ca.gov, and I'll be happy to answer them. But we're very excited about the grant work that's happening, this grant funding. So thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. That's very exciting to hear. So the Advisory Commission on Charter Schools will hear a single action item related to the notice of violation issued to State Board of Education authorized Eagle Collegiate Academy in January by the State Board of Education. During the item, the ACCS will consider the evidence submitted by Eagle Collegiate Academy in response to the notice of violation. The ACCS is tasked with considering whether Eagle Collegiate Academy's response has adequately refuted, remedied, or proposed to remedy the violations described in the notice of violation. The Commissioner's recommendation will be considered in March when the State Board of Education decides whether to issue a notice of intent to revoke, and subsequently if the SBE considers revocation of Eagle Collegiate Academy's charter. We will take, at this moment, we will go ahead and take general public comment now. Upon dialing in, callers will be added to a caller queue. The operator will notify callers when it is their turn to provide public comment. Public comment is limited to 1 minute per person. Again, let me reiterate. This is an opportunity for general public comment. If you are calling because you would like to share public comment on Eagle Collegiate Academy, we will provide you with a separate opportunity for that. So at this time, this is again, just an opportunity for general public comment. So do we have any callers presenting general public comment?
There are currently no callers in the queue for general public comment.
Okay, then we will move on. Let me find my spot here. Okay. So one thing that we will be changing this time for the sake of the commissioners is that we are going to ask that we're going to hold all of our questions. Typically, we ask clarifying questions after the speakers, and this time we're going to ask that we hold off on all questions until after we receive a presentation by CDE, a presentation by Eagle Collegiate, as well as public comment for this item. So once we receive all that, then we will ask our questions and we will go ahead and move forward in our deliberations. So that will be the order that we go. Again, to repeat, it'll be CDE will present, Eagle Collegiate Academy will have 12 minutes to present, and then we'll take public comments specific to this item, and then we will deliberate and ask our questions specifically. So having stated that, anyone wishing to make comment on this item should call in at this time. Simply dial 717-908-1937 and use access code 467-9071# when prompted. So at this moment, I will go ahead and turn this over to CDE's staff, and they'll present the item and share their recommendations.
Good morning, Commissioners, Chair Walsh. This is Craig Heimbichner from the Charter School Division and Administrator, and I am going to be presenting item number 1 to consider evidence regarding a notice of violation and recommend that a notice of intent to revoke with notice of fact be issued to Eagle Collegiate Academy. Next slide. This item consists of the consideration of evidence regarding the notice of violation that was issued to Eagle Collegiate Academy, or ECA, by the California State Board of Education, or SBE, on January 12th, 2022. And the item also proposes to recommend that the State Board of Education issue a notice of intent to revoke with notice of facts to Eagle Collegiate Academy at its March 9th and 10th, 2022 meeting. Next slide. A little background on Eagle Collegiate Academy. At its July 8th and 9th, 2020 meeting, the State Board of Education approved the Eagle Collegiate Academy charter petition with conditions to establish a new school within the boundaries of the Acton Agua Dulce Unified School District with a scheduled opening date in 2021-22, a year later. The charter approved by the State Board of Education outlined a classroom-based international baccalaureate program, and the charter petition stated its intention to serve 168 students in transitional kindergarten, or TK, / kindergarten, or K, through grade 3 in its first year of operation, and finally to grow to serve 438 pupils in TK-K through grade 8 in 2024-25. Next slide. Grounds for revocation. I want to give a little background on that. Per California Education Code, or EC section 47607F, a charter may be revoked if substantial evidence indicates that the charter school did any of the following. 1, committed a material violation of any of the conditions, standards, or procedures set forth in the charter. 2, failed to meet or pursue any of the pupil outcomes identified in the charter. 3, failed to meet generally accepted accounting principles or engaged in fiscal mismanagement. And finally, 4, violated any law. Next slide. The notice of violation. Pursuant to Ed Code section 47607G, the authority that granted the charter petition shall notify the charter school of any violation and provide the school a reasonable opportunity to remedy the violation. On January 12, 2022, the State Board of Education issued a notice of violation to Eagle Collegiate Academy and provided the school a reasonable opportunity to remedy the violation. ECA failed to adequately refute, remedy, or propose to remedy the violations described in the notice of violation. Recommendation. The California Department of Education, or CDE, proposes to recommend that the State Board of Education issue a notice of intent to revoke with notice of facts to Eagle Collegiate Academy pursuant to Ed Code section 47607H at its March 9th and 10th, 2022 meeting. The CDE provides substantial evidence that ECA has committed the following: fiscal mismanagement, violation of several conditions, standards, or procedures set forth in the charter, violation of provisions of law. To go over the process, February 15th, that's today, that's this meeting, the Advisory Commission on Charter Schools, ACCS, will consider the evidence regarding the notice of violation to ECA and make a recommendation to the State Board of Education. And then on March 9th and 10th, 2022, the recommendations of the CDE and ACCS will be reported to the State Board of Education. And it's a two-day process. March 9th, the evidence regarding the notice of violation will be heard by the State Board. And on March 10th, the State Board of Education may hold a public hearing to consider the revocation of ECA. On the next slide, we see a timeline of board actions going back to November 14th, 2019. And that's when the original ECA petition was denied by the Acton Agua Dulce Unified School District by a vote of 5-0. And then we go forward to January 21st, 2020. The ECA petition was also denied by the Los Angeles County Board of Education by a vote of 6-0. And then moving forward to June 9th, 2020, in alignment with CDE's recommendation, the ACCS voted to deny the ECA petition by a vote of 7-1 with one abstention. And then July 9th, 2020, the ECA petition was approved with conditions by the State Board of Education to establish a new school within the boundaries of the Acton Agua Dulce Unified School District. And finally, then September 7th, 2021, the Eagle Collegiate Academy opened. Going on to instances of violation, and this first one for us is, in the opinion of the Department of Education, is the most noteworthy and serious of all the violations, and that's fiscal mismanagement. According to Ed Code Section 47607F3, and they have a budget that is based on unrealistic enrollment, and we'll cover that in detail, and projected fiscal insolvency. Also some material violations according to Ed Code Section 47607F1, failure to maintain adequate budget reserves, failure to timely acquire appropriate facilities, and a change to a non-classroom based educational program. And then finally, violation of law from Ed Code Section 47607F4, which covers non-compliant independent study written agreements. Moving to fiscal mismanagement pursuant to Ed Code Section 47607F3. Next slide. The budget based on unrealistic enrollment. Slide number 1. ECA's charter petition, as we mentioned, included a prospective enrollment of 168 students. And in this timeline, we can see May 2021, the ECA enrollment was reported as a prospective enrollment of 131 students. Then in July 2021, it was reported an estimated October enrollment of 168 students via the pupil estimates for new or significantly expanding charters, or PENZEC. Then September 2021 communicated that the school began with an enrollment of 131 students. ECA communicated that to CDE. November 2021, ECA reported a total enrollment count of 12 students via the charter school 20-day attendance report. December 2021, ECA reported serving 13 students in September, 14 students in October, 12 students in November, and 12 students in December. Next slide. Going on the budget being based on the unrealistic enrollment. Based on the information it reported in the PENSEC, ECA received an apportionment of $611,729 in the first special advance apportionment for charter schools. Based on the information it reported in the charter school 20-day attendance report, ECA qualified for $119,333 in state aid. So ECA, as we can see, has been grossly overpaid by an estimated $492,396, local control funding formula, or LCFF funds, will likely be due back to the state, and ECA will not receive additional principal apportionment payments until the overpayment has been recovered. The budget based on unrealistic enrollment, the ECA made a response and we did an analysis, and their response to the violation included them submitting a revised budget. CDE analyzed their response, and we found that their revised budget indicated still that ECA is not fiscally sustainable. ECA's revised budget based on the school's own enrollment projection of 57 students still results in a negative ending fund balance of $302,298. ECA also projected an enrollment of 168 and 216 students in fiscal years 2022 and 23 and 2023-24 respectively, which is unrealistic and inconsistent with growth patterns in other charter schools. So projected fiscal insolvency is where this goes. ECA based its fiscal solvency on an unrealistic and overestimated budget. ECA estimates on their revised budget a negative ending fund balance of $302,298 for fiscal year 2021-22. ECA's cash flow statement reflects that all cash will be exhausted by July 2022. Now that's their cash flow statement. Also, ECA is no longer eligible to receive Public Charter School Grant Program, or PCSGP funds, due to its low enrollment, nor would ECA's leased facility allow ECA to serve the minimum student enrollment threshold required by the grant, which we'll come to that later. ECA understated its LCFF repayment by $435,594. So the ECA response on projected fiscal insolvency and the CDE's analysis is as follows. ECA submitted a revised budget as their response to the violation, and CDE's analysis of the ECA response showed that the revised budget indicates that it's still not fiscally sustainable. ECA's revised budget indicates a deficit of $282,497 and a negative ending fund balance of $302,842 in fiscal year 2021-22. ECA has failed to take steps to balance its budget by adequately reducing expenditures. ECA's projected ending cash balance fails to include any of its LCFF repayment, and ECA will fail to meet its financial obligations in our analysis by May 2022, and payments beginning in July 2022 will be affected. In short, they'll run out of money. Projected fiscal insolvency, the ECA response and CDE analysis continued. The CDE's practice is to evaluate fiscal solvency based on a school's actual enrollment. ECA's failed to include its LCFF repayment in its projected ending cash balance. Based on its actual enrollment of 12 students, the CDE estimates ECA's LCFF repayment to be $492,396. ECA's revised budget projects an ending cash balance of $4,403 at the end of fiscal year 2021-22, but based on its actual enrollment of 12 students, the CDE estimates that ECA may have an estimated negative ending cash balance of $488,353 by June 2022. Moving to the violation of the charter pursuant to Ed Code section 47607F1, failure to maintain adequate budget reserves. Per the Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, between Eagle Collegiate Academy and the State Board of Education, ECA is expected to maintain reserves at 5% of expenditures, or $71,000, whichever is greater. Due to LCFF repayment and the discontinuance of PCSGP funding, the CDE's current analysis projects ECA to have a negative ending fund balance of $598,225 at the end of fiscal year 2021-22. ECA has a response to that violation, and they submitted a revised budget and CDE did an analysis of the response. ECA's own projections end in a negative fund balance of $302,842. I want to stress that's our own projections. CDE projects that based on ECA's current enrollment, ECA will have a negative ending fund balance of $598,225 by June 2022. So we see a worse negative ending fund balance, but even with theirs, they have a serious negative ending fund balance. The CDE finds ECA's projections to be based on unrealistic, unsubstantiated, and inflated enrollment for fiscal year 2021-22. On failure to acquire appropriate facilities, a little background on that. ECA's charter required ECA's school facilities to be completed and ready on or before May 28th, 2021. And that's, they had a year delay. ECA failed to open a facility as a classroom-based charter school by the State Board of Education approved date or before the start of the 2021-22 school year on September 7th, 2021. On December 6th, 2021, ECA informed the CDE that it had obtained a short-term lease at a temporary facility. And the CDE visited and inspected the facility on December 16th, 2021, and found the facility to be non-compliant. Then ECA gave a response to this violation, and we did our analysis at the Department of Education. ECA proposed to hold class in a different building located on the same property of the leased site. And in our analysis, the CDE first expedited a second visit to inspect the newly proposed facility on February 10th, 2022. And the CDE pre-opening site inspection checklist is provided as attachment 4 of this agenda item. In the CDE analysis continued of ECA's response, the CDE's analysis finds that the ECA has not refuted, remedied, or successfully proposed to remedy this violation. ECA's occupation of a different building on the same property does not remedy all of the CDE's previous findings of noncompliance, nor is the new proposed building compliant in all areas. In addition, the current proposed building cannot accommodate ECA's projected enrollment for the 2021-22 school year. Next slide. In continuing our analysis, per the site inspection conducted by the CDE on February 10th, 2022, the newly identified building will only hold a maximum of 34 students, 28 students in kindergarten through grade 3, and 6 students in preschool. ECA's revised budget based on the school's own enrollment projection of 57 students results, remember, in a negative ending fund balance of $302,298. However, the facility will not accommodate this projected enrollment level. In addition, there was a change to non-classroom-based educational program. ECA's charter petition outlines a classroom-based international baccalaureate educational program. However, ECA has reported that its students are receiving online instruction only via independent study. Continuing, ECA has responded to the violation and stated that its curriculum has not changed. It's been forced to conduct instruction virtually due to challenges in obtaining a facility. And CDE analyzed the response, and while recognizing their inability to secure a facility in a timely manner, the CDE's analysis finds that ECA has not refuted, remedied, or successfully proposed to remedy this violation. ECA is delivering a virtual education independent study rather than the classroom-based educational program that was approved in its charter. And online and remote instruction significantly changes the way an education program is delivered and received by students. Violation of provisions of law pursuant to Ed Code Section 47607F4. Next slide. Non-compliant independent study written agreements. Ed Code Section 51747G outlines requirements of independent study or IS written agreements. And we found that ECA's IS written agreements were also non-compliant with law. It is unclear if ECA is eligible to receive apportionments for independent study. The agreement fails to include the manner, time, frequency, and place for submitting a pupil's assignments for reporting the pupil's progress and for communicating with a pupil's parent or guardian regarding the pupil's academic progress. Agreement fails to mention the provision for tiered re-engagement strategies and fails to include end dates for the agreements. ECA responded and claimed that the IS written agreements are compliant with applicable law and that the information was clearly communicated to families. And we responded by an analysis that found that it still had not refuted, remedied, or successfully proposed to remedy this violation, that the IS written agreements lack specificity and clarity and don't meet the requirements of the Ed Code section 51747G. Non-compliant independent study written agreements, more on their response in our analysis. They are still out of compliance. They list options for the manner of reporting student progress and parent-guardian communication, but give no information as to when and under what circumstances to utilize the checked options. We can probably summarize this a little bit if need be, come back to it, but these are some of the details that they are in the item. To summarize it, we'll just go on and say that they're still out of compliance. Other concerns outlined in the violation, continuing. Special Education Local Plan Area, on December 1st, 2021, the El Dorado Charter Special Education Local Plan Area, SELPA, issued a formal notice of its concerns about Eagle Collegiate Academy's ability to function as a local educational agency, and that Eagle Collegiate had not set up a child find process. The SELPA was concerned that students with disabilities were not receiving their due services. And the El Dorado County Charter SELPA confirmed that ECA has resolved the issues stated in its letter of concern dated December 1st, 2021. So in summary, CDE concludes there's no fiscal viability for ECA moving forward. Based on the CDE's analysis, the CDE estimates that ECA will have an estimated negative ending cash balance of $488,353 by June 2022. ECA will also fail to meet its financial obligations, including but not limited to staff salaries, pension obligations, and benefits by May 2022. And payments beginning in July 2022 will be affected. The conclusion is that there's substantial evidence that Eagle Collegiate has committed the following: fiscal mismanagement. Again, that's the biggest one for us: violation of several conditions, standards, or procedures set forth in the charter, and violation of provisions of law. That ECA has not adequately refuted, remedied, or proposed a plan to remedy the violations identified in the notice of violation. Our recommendation is that the State Board issue a notice of intent to revoke with notice of facts to ECA pursuant to Ed Code section 47607H at its March 9th and 10th, 2022 meeting. And the CDE requests that the ACCS move the CDE staff recommendation to the State Board of Education.
Thank you very much, Craig. At this time, we will go ahead and give 12 minutes to Eagle Collegiate Academy to respond and share their efforts to remedy the challenges. And so at this moment, who will be presenting for Eagle Collegiate Academy?
We're in the process of promoting Eagle Collegiate Academy's presenters, so it'll just take maybe a few seconds.
And again, reminder to the commission, please save all notes and questions for after we've had Eagle Collegiate Academy present, as well as the public comments, and then we will move forward.
Don't switch computer. No, it's too late. Screen recording can be turned off then. Train them. I don't know why it's not because it worked before, right? No, you can't do it. How can I turn that? And out of camera. How can I turn that screen record? Is it up?
Okay. The ECA presenters have been promoted.
We're trying to share the screen. It's not. Still not showing. This is what happens when hello, McKenna?
Yes.
The screen is not sharing, and I don't know why.
Okay, along the bottom, you should see like a share screen button with the green arrow.
Yeah, we practiced it and it worked. It's just not sharing now.
Okay. Can you email me your PowerPoint?
I did.
I can share it. Okay.
No. Go ahead and send it. Okay. That one though, we can use.
Mike, can we take a 5-minute break until we can get this up?
I was just about to make that same suggestion. Okay. Thank you very much, Commissioner Farland. So we will go ahead and recess for 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back from recess. We seem to have all of our technical difficulties managed now. And so at this point, we will go ahead and allow the the Eagle Collegiate Academy to go ahead and respond. So begin.
Good morning, Chairman Walsh, commissioners, and CDE staff. My name is Dr. Ogokoye Johnson, and I am the founder and the Chief Executive Officer of Eagle Collegiate Academy. We recognize the weightiness of your responsibility today. We recognize CDE's oversight task, and we thank you for taking the time to hear us this morning. We are a K-8 public charter school currently serving grades K through 3rd, and are the first and only International Baccalaureate Primary Years Program candidate school serving the Antelope Valley and the Santa Clarita Valley communities. As many of you remember, the State Board unanimously approved Eagle Collegiate Academy's charter petition with conditions on July 8, 2020, the best days of our lives, with a 1-year delayed opening to begin instruction between July 1, 2021 and September 30, 2021, because of the pandemic. Our families and team were overjoyed after 4 years of fighting to bring this excellent program to our communities. However, there was no way for anyone to predict that we will still be battling with the pandemic even today. California was under the lockdown stay-at-home order from March 19, 2020 to the end of January 2021, and fully reopened June 2021, quote unquote, because it wasn't a full reopening. It was really difficult to conduct business when the state is shut down. Since July 2020 though, Eagle Collegiate Academy team has faced innumerable challenges in opening various facilities in Agua Dulce, which has, of course, impacted enrollment in our budget.
Dr. Okoye, Dr. Johnson, my apologies for interrupting, but your slides are still not moving forward. I'm assuming that you're changing, but you're not actually in a presentation mode.
Okay, I apologize.
Slideshow.
ECA is caught in an impossible spiral We cannot enroll more students until we have a facility. The facility cannot be opened until the CDE approves. The CDE has yet to approve. Families cannot commit until the facility is improved because they want the in-person instruction we promised them. And they work, so they need to go to work. ECA cannot repay its debt to the CDE until it can open a facility and enroll more students. Without apportionment, we cannot have a larger facility. It just goes on and on. So we are here today to ask you, to plead with you, to give us a life raft, to pull us out of this spiral. If the CDE approves the facility, we have 45 new students ready to enroll. We had more if we had opened January 10th. That alone won't solve all of the issues, but it will interrupt the endless pinning and allow our scholar eagles who are excitedly waiting to begin instruction in person. So we ask you, for the sake of our scholar eagles, of our families, and of our community, to deny CDE's proposal that the California State Board of Education issue a notice of intent to revoke our hard-fought charter. We agree that current enrollment is not consistent. We agree. Hold on one second. What is it? Okay, the slide showing full screen now. I see. Right. You can put it inside the screen. Okay, this is cutting into my time, so I'm going to have to move forward. We agree that current enrollment is not consistent with charter projections, advanced apportionment, or our own expectations. We have repeatedly and aggressively cut our budget multiple times, eliminating or substantially lowering all possible expenditures. We have enough cash to finish the school year and plan to do so. We understand the importance and the implications of the substantial ADA overpayment. We hope you can see that the single best way for these dollars to flow back to the state is to keep ECA open. We still have 5 years left in our charter. We're really a brand new school. We are voluntarily agreeing to a repayment plan over 2 years to make sure the state is whole. No funds can be returned if ECA's charter is revoked. ECA has reduced its enrollment projections for the 2023 school year from 168 from 240, and the 2023-24 school year to 216 from 313. And these are reasonable, comparable enrollments for schools in our area, charter schools that offer the rigorous kind of program that ECA plans to offer. Do I need you to come and move this chair? Okay. ECA has cut its staff from 12.5 FTE to 4.5 FTE and a half-day substitute teacher. ECA's current number of teachers will enable ECA to provide its program with fidelity and to be compliant with the International Baccalaureate, English learner, and special education requirements. It will also make sure that ECA is ready for the students who will be joining the school for in-person instruction. I personally worked a year without taking a salary. We are facing a tough climb out of debt. Our projections are that if ECA enrolls an average of 29 students, we will have an ADA of 27.53, not what we wanted, but the debt will drop approximately to $330,000. So over a period of years, if allowed to continue operating, the money can and will be repaid to the state. Based on the verbal report that we received from the CDE facility site inspection conducted on February 10th, ECA remedied all the concerns that CDE had during the first meeting. Very late yesterday, we received a report that there was some new concern that ECA may have, that CDE may have about our site. But those are not concerns that cannot be remedied. In fact, some of them have already been remedied, like a gaping hole in a fence. And so as a result of it, if you take a look at this floor plan that we have in front of you, the architect created it, and it shows that we have enough space there. And we believe that we should have enough space for our 57 students when we begin. Again, we're back to the ECA cannot switch to classroom-based education without the approval of the facility. While the facility is not approved, ECA must offer independent study instruction. So we eagerly await CDE's approval of the facility in order to satisfy this issue. ECA believes it has satisfied its concern. Student progress is provided to ECA students through quarterly progress reports, quarterly parent conferences, report cards, and NWEA MAP growth test results. ECA students submit assignments via email, in person, when ECA staff picks them up, and via the Google Classroom. ECA's ending date for the IS written agreement is June 27, 2022, our last day of school. But we know and we hope that with CDE approving our site, it will be opened. The ending date will be sooner than that. So this is our current site. There is a video of our current site that we would like you to see, where ECA shared the site inspection with the CDE facility. I'm going to try to play it. Can you see it playing? Okay. I'm not sure why. Share screen. Okay. This is the current site where we are, and you can see the petitions. We actually tried to use the petitions to make more space for those who are there at the moment. We left the stage alone, but we also have access to the stage to use it as needed so that we can increase the number of students that we have. And so what you're looking at currently is the current site that we have ready, waiting for our students who are so excitedly waiting to start in person.
One minute remaining.
And then this is the site where we started to share at the beginning of this school year that we wanted to start our students with, and that we fought for 5 months trying to have set up so that our students would have this beautiful facility to get started. It is still in the works. The owner is still willing to work with us. We have been cleared the first hurdle of it and approved for the site ministerial site plan review. We intend to return to this site for the 2022-23 school year with this beautiful facility that we plan to provide our families. So we do have a plan in order to be able to continue educating our students in a facility that is equitable and accessible to all students. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Okoye Johnson. At this time, we will accept public comment for this item. So my question to staff, are there any public comments ready?
We do currently have callers in the queue.
All right. We will take public comment now. Upon dialing in, callers will be added to a caller queue. The operator will notify callers when it is their turn to provide public comment. Please, public comment is limited to 1 minute per speaker. So please begin.
Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now. Go ahead, caller. You're unmuted.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead with your public comment.
So it's two of us. My name is Albert Ward, and my son's name is Andrew Ward. He's actually here too. He's one of your students. So from the parent standpoint, to me, it's important for the kids to have the online learning, and we appreciate that, but we think there's more value in them being able to go to a classroom and learn that way. And now I'll let you hear from my son, Andrew, who's one of your students.
I really like going to that class. They give me a good education. I like all my classmates. And my name is Andrew.
What grade?
I'm in 3rd grade.
Which teacher?
And my teacher is Miss Coustel. And I want to go to in-person school because I really like my class.
Okay, our time is up. Whoever's next.
Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, my name is Ashley Coustel. I am the teacher that Andrew was just talking about. I'm the 3rd grade teacher here at ECA. I wanted to call in and explain how important this school is to the students. These students have done so well being at our school. I can't even explain the amount of talent that these students are showing, the success rate they're giving. These students have gone from some of them not even being able to read to reading already, even through online instruction. We have great teachers at this school, and these students just want to be in a classroom. And I understand that there's certain things that CDE has to look for, but these students' education is what's important, and I know being in the classroom will give them that. They're already doing so well, and to take this school from them is going to hurt them, and it's going to hurt a lot of the teachers because we love this school. We respect what Dr. Johnson is doing, and we're seeing how much these students are growing.
That's time.
Thank you.
Caller.
Do we have any more public comment?
Yes, we still have a few. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, good morning. Did you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead with your public comment.
Oh, hi. My name is Johanna, and I'm a parent of a student on Revoke Collegiate Academy. I would like you to support our school because I noticed that my kid has improved a lot in school, and I can see him in the community. I'm new here, and I can see that there's not too much school where my kid can get a quality education and even small classes. So if you can please do something to support this school, I will appreciate it. And here is my son, Cody.
Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm in 2nd grade, and please support me at my school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
How you doing? My name is Jack, and I'm a member of the community. And I believe the school should not be shut down. School has been going on since September, and students have been learning a lot from great qualified teachers. Terminating the school would be detrimental to the development of these students, which I believe is the most important thing for the students and our future. I just ask that you really just think about these students who have really enjoyed their time attending ECA and give them the opportunity to be in person and meet with their teachers and really start to develop more personal skills that would just be better for their futures. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Anna Morales Ward. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
My son is Andrew Ward, and I feel this Eagle Collegiate Academy is really crucial to our community, especially for my son, who was a homeschooler and had a smooth transition with this program. Our teachers are extremely amazing. Andrew has jumped leaps and bounds in his learning and education, so it's very much needed. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, good morning. My name is Javier Gonzalez, and I'm a parent of one of the students here in ECA. I'd just like to say that please do not shut down their school. The school has been really great for my son, Jaden. He's a special needs student, and the teachers have been very great at accommodating and teaching to provide a good education to him. He actually started out the school year, having trouble with reading, and he has made a significant improvement in his reading skills. The teachers are very attentive, and they do their best to provide a very good education to all our kids, and I don't want my child to miss any of that if the school shuts down. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Isabella, and I am excited for my children to be a part of Eagle Collegiate Academy. In addition to their excellent instructional programs, such as the International Baccalaureate Primary Years Program Candidacy, I believe in their strong core values and mission. I see how caring and dedicated the ECA staff is to one another, especially to their students and families. And I know my children will receive a quality education at Eagle Collegiate Academy. Thank you.
Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hello, my name is Jolie Cipriano. I'm here to speak and support ECA school. I have two kids in this school, Abby Rodriguez and Ezekiel Rodriguez, and they are so happy with the teachers, with the classes, and they're so excited to go in person. This school is an excellent opportunity, and it's going to be a great impact for Santa Clarita, and not just for Santa Clarita, for the surrounding areas. So I please beg you guys to leave this school open. They have been so good. They have been so great with us. They have been working with us. Whatever we need, they're there. And even if our language is Spanish and English is our second language, they have been trying everything so we can understand, and they have been supporting for us. So I'm praying. I'm praying for this school to stay open, and I beg you guys to also to take this message in consideration to help us to this school to stay open. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Kristen, and I'm a community member and supporter of Eagle Collegiate Academy. These students are learning. These teachers are great and dedicated, and it would be very sad and difficult if the school shut down. This school is needed in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Paulina Goldstein, and I am calling in support of Eagle Collegiate Academy. I ask that you continue to support ECA for the benefit of our students, parents, and staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Pastor Gene Stabe. I pastor the Agua Dulce Living Springs Church. I've been pastoring here for 21 years in the community. And one of the number one calls we get here at the church is for preschool or about schools. And we're a little bit more remote. And boy, I'm hearing people pull their kids out of the traditional public school system. And Eagle Collegiate Academy offers a unique opportunity for those families to have an option for them to get the schooling and the education that they need. And boy, we need it desperately here. So I'm glad to support it and the members of our church and our community, and in full support of them. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Kenny Gonzalez, and I'm here with my son, Jaden Gonzalez. He goes on third grade with me, COSEL. I just wanted to add that we need this school. The values that this school has provided to my son are tremendously good for him. He has developed more sense of, kindness, and he has improved his skills with his classmates in reading, in math. He loves his teacher. And every morning from the start of the year, he's asking me, when are we going to in-person session? Because he loves to meet with his classmates. So I'm begging you guys, please do not shut the school down. We need this school in Santa Clarita. We need what Eagle Academy is offering us. And my son's going to tell you how much he loves the school too. Okay.
That's time.
Hello, my
Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Rosalind Duranville, and I am the parent of Hannah Duranville. I am calling in support of ECA. We started the school year with a school nearby, but due to the difficulty that my daughter was having with her teacher, she started attending ECA, and she has made a 180-degree turnaround. So to shut this school down, it would lead me to go look for another school in the school year. So I'm asking that you please support and look to the students more so than everything else that's going on. And here's Hannah, and here's what she has to say.
Please don't close my school down. I love my school. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hello, this is Peggy Studio speaking. I'm a resident of Santa Clarita, and I am a lifelong educator. I have taught in the public schools, but I do believe that Eagle Collegiate Academy is offering something unique to our valley and something that is very, very needed. I particularly appreciate the diversity of the student body and the staff, and the fact that there are specialized programs for those in need of special education. I do hope that you will be able to keep Eagle Collegiate Academy open. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Alice Kennedy, and I have some children that I need to go to. I lead. They're 3 and 2, and they're going to be going in the fall, and I am looking forward to my children going to this school. If the school stays open, then my children will have a place to go. If it doesn't stay open, my children won't have a place to go because of finances. The school is going to provide for my children things that I can't provide for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Whitney Evans, and I'm actually a prospective parent looking to enroll my 7-year-old for second grade into this school and changing him from his current public school. I'm basically a person, that was in a magnet program all 4 years in high school, went straight to college, got my bachelor's degree right after. Education is super important. The level of education that this school particularly offers is unmatched in terms of the other schools in this area and what they're looking to bring to the table, not to mention the morning and after school, care for the kids as well. That gives parents like me, when they do go back to in-person, an ability to work their jobs and do other things. So I just think that this school is awesome in terms of what it can offer and provide and level of education and support for parents, and we need more schools like this. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Good morning. This is Ken Higginbotham. I'm president of the board of directors for Eagle Collegiate Academy, and it is imperative that we keep this high level of learning in the underrepresented population and community in the southern part of California, in the Acton, Agua Dulce, Santa Clarita area. You've heard all the comments. It's really important to have this school continue with the education of the great staff and leadership that is part of Eagle Collegiate Academy, and it is highly, highly recommended that you keep it open. That's the end of my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Good morning, my Dr. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Dr. Oscar Scott, and I'm a little unusual in that I'm calling you from Virginia Beach, Virginia. And the reason that I've taken time out today to give you a call is because I personally know Dr. Johnson. I've known her for over 30 years. And in order for any organization to be successful, it needs to have a dedicated leader who's willing to sacrifice at all costs to make it successful. And I know this has been a dream of Dr. Johnson's for so long. You can tell in my voice that I'm a little emotional because I know we have a dedicated woman who's willing to help all children. So I pray and earnestly ask that you please allow ECA to continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now. Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Hi, my name is Ruth Posey. I'm a parent of a fourth grader and aunt of a TK student. I'm calling in to support ECA. I believe that if ECA remains open and has the opportunity to grow, it could really be a wonderfully effective school where many students could benefit from a quality education in a nurturing environment. Thank you.
Good morning, caller. Please state your name and affiliation for the record. Your time starts now.
Good morning, ACCS Commissioners. My name is Kyna Collins, and I'm a veteran charter educator representing the California Teachers Association. CTA supports the CDE's recommendation that the ACCS recommend that the State Board of Education issue a notice of intent to revoke at its March 2022 meeting. The issues with the ECA outlined by the CDA in the item are egregious, and CTA would like to highlight that the consistent pattern of shifting enrollment numbers led to ECA being overfunded by almost $500,000 in public funds. Perhaps the most troubling shift occurred by ECA reporting to the CDE on September 30th that the school started with 131 students, and then their attendance report only had 12 students. ECA's actions are reminiscent of the A3 scandal, and we believe it would be prudent for the CDE to investigate ECA's action to determine if this was gross mismanagement, gross incompetence, or fraud.
Time.
Thank you.
There are no more callers in the queue.
All right, thank you. So at this time, Commissioners, we will begin our deliberations. If we have any questions of either CDE staff or with Dr. Okoye Johnson, then we can ask those. And again, I want to stay as focused as possible. Again, if you have a question, please raise your hand. I'll do my best to track what is on my screen in front of me. So at this time, any commissioners have a question? I see Dr. King and then Gail, then Gail. So please begin, Dr. King.
I assure you I read the entire packet, but I do have some clarifying questions, one for ECA and one for the CDE, and I'll ask the CDE question first. And that is there a repayment plan that's as a legal option, since there is agreement between both ECA and the CDE that there will be a deficit?
Well, the CDE doesn't have the authority to approve a repayment plan, but what typically happens is if a charter is revoked and the school closes, they are invoiced and they do owe the money back. It's the same if they voluntarily closed or if they were revoked.
I guess the nature of the question was...
There's no plan.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, perfect. And then my second question is to ECA is how many current students do they have?
We just promoted ECA. They should be allowed to unmute themselves and speak.
Okay. I was just thank you, Dr. King, for that question. Currently, we do still have the 12 students because we had been saying that we needed to get in person so that our families can come back. We have families who are ready to return, who couldn't sustain the virtual learning and virtual instruction. So it has remained 12, and that's what we had been communicating to CDE.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Garbalina Majica.
Yes, thank you. My question is for ECA as well. I heard that you have 4.5 staff members. Is that an accurate count?
Yes.
Okay. And 4.5 staff members for 12 children, for 12 students? That's probably correct.
Yes.
Okay. With your 4.5 staff members, please explain to me the process by which the forms that you were submitting in May of 21 and in July of 2021 had over 100 students, 168 students, and 131 students, but yet in September you had 13. Can you please elaborate as to how that calculation or how that accounting happened? Did you?
I would. So in May, we were asked to report our projected enrollment. And at that time, that's what we reported. And then when we were doing PenSec, we had to report the projected enrollment that we were given. I put that we did put that in our response. Do not recall telling CDE administrator directly that in September we had 131. Now, between June or July and August, CDE did not have any consultant that was overseeing it. We were working with. And so when we got the new consultant, we were talking about different things. It was really a good conversation, trying to bring him up to date, discussing things where they are. So I do not recall saying that. If it were, then it would be a misspoke because it wasn't something that I recall saying. It was a conversation I had with a new consultant going over different things with him. And we did put that clearly in our response.
So to be clear, you never had 131 students or 168. That was just your projection, correct?
In May was a projection. In
July was a projection as too on your PenSec. Was that a projection?
The PenSec is a projection.
Right, and that was in July, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was a projection. And then what materialized was 13-ish, 14, 13 in the teens. That's what materialized. So you never enrolled that many students. You just projected.
Well, we were told that we couldn't legally call anybody and enroll students unless they started. So while we did have some students who submitted their registration forms, getting ready to open August 16th, because if you remember, we had planned to open August 16th. So we had some people who had also submitted their paperwork ready to open then, and we had some of those numbers. But since we couldn't open August 16th due to facility challenges, we can only indicate those who actually showed up, because that's the way it's done. And so that's what we have truthfully provided to you. Provided to CDE. So there was never any, misgivings or misintent to anything of that sort. We've always projected when we needed to project and shared what we had when we needed to share the current enrollment.
When you had your 12 to 13 students show up, was there any thought to reducing the number of staff that you have with the 4.5 FTE?
Well, yes, and we started out with 12.5 because we were fully staffed. Teachers, the community, everybody was excited to get the school going. We had a 2-week PD for teachers before opening up. And so, yes, we did look at what we were supposed to have and what we have, but we also were working with the county department that made it believe as if we would be able to get in person. So we were preparing to have our students in person with the teachers we have. But as we saw that we couldn't get the facility going, we started eliminating our teachers up to the point where we are now at 4.5. So we had it fully staffed and then we cut it back.
And with 12 students and still having 4.5 staff, that's a heavy ratio to maintain. So that's all the questions that I have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll go with Commissioner Austin and then Commissioner Jones.
Thank you. Gail actually asked the question of the student-teacher ratio. So I do have one question for CDE staff, because I know that there's been discrepancies with the enrollment projections and actual enrollment. And then there's still this idea that is being floated out there that if they can get a facility approved, they have the numbers to enroll. At what point this school year would the cutoff be that they could no longer enroll and get paid. I know P2 attendance and things like that are coming up, but they have a pretty large gap to fill. And in my estimates, a short window of time to get those students in person in order to get any type of funding credit for it. So what is the window of time for that?
Hey, Jared, we have someone from our SFSD division who can answer your question. We want to make sure that we get all the specifics right. So if we can bring Kiyomi up, that'd be great.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning. This is Kiyomi Meeker, Administrator, School Fiscal Services Division at the California Department of Education. So we collect attendance for the current year. Depends on their calendar, so I would need to check on that specifically, but they would be able to report attendance through the last full school month before May. So it is still a short window to get that, given their current enrollment in ADA.
And to be clear, that would be prorated based on the number of days that they attend rather than full ADA for the year. So there's
Correct.
Still not as much funding as they may hope.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. That's my question.
Commissioner Jones.
Thank you. Yeah, I just have a quick question for the CDE. Because I know in the ECA presentation, they found that no funds can be returned if the charter is revoked. But then it seems like, just to clarify, you were saying that they will receive an invoice.
Yes, that's exactly right. They would be invoiced. That happens every time there's a school closure. As I said, if it's voluntary or revocation, either way, they'd be invoiced after the school closed.
Okay, so then saying that the funds can't be returned is actually inaccurate.
That's correct.
Thank you. That's my only question.
All right. Seeing no further questions, then I will open for further conversation and deliberation among the board, and I will also entertain a motion. I see Commissioner Garbalino-Hica.
Thank you very much. This is, I think, a very troubling position. And I'd like to go back to the summer of 2020 when we were all living in a pandemic. And we had this ACES meeting where we had this charter petition in front of us. Ironically, as I didn't participate in the vote because I think I was gone for a portion of it. So I was the one abstention that was after I reviewed the tape or the video from that meeting. But I think it's important to note that this commission back in the summer of 2020 had severe concerns about whether or not this charter school would make it. To open up a charter school during a pandemic, I think, was a risky move. And I think there were many elements in the petition that was presented that provided, 7 members of our commission to vote to deny the appeal. We are a very fair and balanced commission, and we often have split votes, but it's not often that we have a 7-1 or with one abstention. It's not often. So there was something very glaring and troubling about this petition. What I find astonishing is that this SBE approved it on a vote. It sounds as if on a unanimous vote, which is troubling on a different level. So here we are, a year in, we're still in the pandemic, and we have a situation where we have, I'm afraid, that our fears and concerns from July of 2020 have now come true, where we have a charter school that has drastically failed to meet enrollment. There are some things that have been said that are very concerning to me about, there was interest in registration, but the students didn't show up. So that's concerning to me, that there were interested people and then they didn't show up. So if you're interested, you typically show up. I think the misunderstanding of, or the mischaracterization or the accounting of the students is highly, highly troubling. And many of us who run education programs know that you cannot run a sufficient and high quality program with 12 to 15 students to 45 students. It's really, really challenging, and have 4.5 staff. And I think that misconception, I think, is still very troubling. And I think it sets to the overall concern that this commission had 2 years ago, that as well-intentioned as these charter petitioners are, they're just not able to execute to any degree of success. And that's what we're seeing here today. I think going forward, I have very little confidence, if no confidence, in any student number that they give me moving forward as a projection. So I can't put any faith in any numbers. I think the glaring deficit that we have cannot be ignored. I think we have a situation where it's no possible way can you do something in this child's best interest when you have an organization that is insolvent. And this organization is insolvent well beyond any capacity. Getting 45 students enrolled next year will do nothing to solve the insolvency of this school district. And I think that those are some things that we all have to basically come to terms with. As well-intentioned as they are, I think we've had a history in the last 2 years of unsuccessful attempts. And I fear that we will have continued unsuccessful attempts to remedy. So I will move staff's approval that we recommend revoking the charter petition to the SBE.
So we have a we have a motion for a recommendation following CDE to revoke. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Jones. Further conversation, discussion? Commissioner King.
The only thing I would like to add is, one, I want to publicly commend the young people who spoke today, right? So Andrew, Daniel, Jaden, Hannah, I just want to publicly say you guys' name because it takes a lot of courage, especially as second and third graders, to be able to do that. Also wanted to commend the parents. I also wanted to extend that same commendation to Dr. Johnson for her heart to try to tackle this. It's a heavy uphill battle to try to do it within the circumstances of a pandemic. And that's the entirety of my comments.
Thank you. Commissioner Austin.
I want to echo Dr. King's comments about the students. You guys did a fantastic job. But I also have concerns about this school. And I was one of the commissioners that voted to deny it a few years ago. And I admire the passion and the ability to, the desire to serve that community. My concern is that it's a large gap in public funds that is going to be negative at the end of the school year, and then even given it another year where the enrollment likely won't come to fruition, would just be another year of public funds that be in the deficit. And I can't in good conscience support that. So those are my comments.
Thank you, Commissioner Austin. I'm going to echo the comments that have already been shared. I have great concern for the public funds and the amount of debt that has continued to occur. The ability to sustain what arguably represented by the parents and the students has been a quality type of an education. I just don't think you have the ability to sustain that. I do appreciate and applaud the efforts to begin this program, but I also am in good conscience cannot support this. So I am going to go ahead and call for the vote now. I see no other persons ready to share. So we'll do a roll call vote. We have a motion and a second to recommend revocation. And so we'll begin with Commissioner Austin. How do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Farland.
Yes.
Commissioner Faisal.
Yes.
Commissioner Garbalino Majica.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion carries unanimously. And that is the end of our conversation for this particular item. So thank you very much, commissioners, for your deliberation and for your work. Thank you again to Cynthia Glover-Woods for joining us for this conversation, as well as thank you to Commissioner King. Welcome to our team. And at that, I will say this meeting is now adjourned. We will see you at our next meeting. Thank you, commissioners.